Hello, everyone. So the big rush that is Christmas is starting to wind down now, and in the form of their appreciation for me, my work decided to give me another Snappy gift. For those of you who don't know, Snappy gifts are a type of gift where they allow you to choose a material object, and if you don't like the one they offer, they allow you to choose something similar in like the same price point. And I didn't think too hard about it again. I probably should have. But I just picked the thing that was calling out to me, and I don't know why. But this time it was ankle weights. I mean, I'm not really a fitness nut at all. But I ended up choosing them because I thought, ooh, wouldn't it be fun to try to knit with these on? Like, I remember working one day, and I ended up having to send something like a set of hand weights to destroy, because it had lost its buddy. It's kind of like a live version reenactment of the Lobster. But before I threw it away, I got a coworker to try it on and to try to pack a box with it on. He's like, "Oh, this is terrible. I hate this." And well, now I can actually try it out for myself how terrible it would be. So I have 2 rows on here just for a baseline. I casted 10 stitches onto the needle. I think I'm going to do 2 rows with each progression of the weight, 1 knit and 1 crochet, because as it turns out, it's a pair that holds 1 to 3 pounds. You can see there's different bumps. So if I open it up, you can see there are different sacks. So I can actually control how much weight goes on, which is pretty smart, to be quite honest. So we're going to try it with just the thing on first, and then I'm going to progressively put more weight and see how bad it gets and whether I can continue knitting or not. So let's take it out, and let's try to remember the order in which I take them out. Okay. Kept it in order there. And we're going to do its buddy. It looks like the weights are all the same size, so even though they are bent in a certain way, I don't think it matters which one it goes back in. And then I think I tried it with this guy. So the Velcro, I think, goes around this way, and then you bend it back around. So let's put my wrist in there. Oh, my wrist is thinner than that was probably hoping for, but we can bend the fabric on itself to compensate. There we go. It's weird because it's kind of like when I did the wrist brace, but it's not actually going to be around my hand. It's a bit looser than the wrist brace, but it's going to become heavier. Something tells me I'm bending this the wrong way, but okay. They're on. So this is no weight. And while they're a bit tight, I don't imagine this being terribly difficult. You've seen me knit in under way worse circumstances than this. not the tail. There we go, so that's the knit row. And that's the purl row. Voila, like literally no difference between the two rows. Wait a minute. Oh, sorry about that. All right. I do think I'm going to have to like undo the Velcro and redo it every time I put a weight in, which was something I was not thinking about. Which means we get to hear the lovely noise of Velcro once again. I think if we put in the middle one and then I can center the middle one over my wrist, I can kind of like space out the weights. Now because I was about to say, because they're in groups of 5 and it goes up to 3 pounds, each weight is not like 1 pound, which means it's actually going to take me doing math to figure out how much weight I'm putting on at one point. If I end up doing the math later, I will put it at the end of the video. Or in the description box somewhere. There you go. Oh, don't stick. I don't think... I can't remember if I've ever had like any Velcro sneakers or not. I feel like I might have, but if it was very short-lived. Like, I know when I was in 3rd grade, I had different shoes that I called sneakers that probably weren't sneakers, but like slip-on flats, and we just called them sneakers and treated them like sneakers since they had the rubber sole, but like I definitely never had those sneakers where like, that I know of, that like you had the Velcro in place of the shoelace. All right, we got some weight on the wrists. And now we're going to knit. It does feel a bit like the wrist brace. Though oddly, it's less constricting than the wrist brace. Wait. Oh. They have a good smell to them. It's not like perfume or anything like that. It smells like something similar. Not to perfume, but to like other objects. Like, I want to say it smells similar to my running belt before I started using it. If that makes sense. Kind of like other things, this material that were like stuck in packaging and they still have like that rubbery, fabricy scent to it. All right. Time for the second weight. which at this point I believe we are about to cross at least the 1 pound barrier. Again, I have to do the math. Okay. These are pretty snug to slip in. I wonder what's inside. I mean, I don't feel like taking it apart to find out what's inside, but feels kind of like sand, maybe? Could be sand. Or like pebbles. It'd be kind of hilarious if they just sold me like ground rocks. Not that I'd be upset at that. I probably wouldn't be upset at that. That's probably what I would expect. Especially since they can survive the washing machine. Yeah, I have no idea what the washing instructions are on this thing. There you go. We got the 2 weights on. It feels a bit heavy. I wouldn't want to go to work with these around my wrists and work the whole day like that. That would also just be a really stupid idea. Risking my wrist safety is a really stupid idea. I got a feeling I'm probably going to feel this after the fact and not while it's actually going on. But also, I've been having a huge vacation from work recently, and by huge vacation I mean over a week. And I've been knitting a lot in that time, so even though I'm technically resty, my wrists haven't been. I may regret that when I go back to work. We will see. My mind's not regretting it, though. My mind is loving it. Because I haven't really had much chance to do much of anything for the month leading up to Christmas. I think I did manage to make a stuffed animal in there somewhere. It's becoming a blur now. Ah! My yarn is sticking to the Velcro. I remember like reading about Velcro's creation when I was younger. It's like literally the guy was walking through a field and realized these burrs were stuck on his like pant legs, and it's like, oh, this could be a new fastener. It might have been the same resource where I found out about the post-it notes. A lot of the childhood literature in my house were stories of people who did impressive things. Make sure those two stay together all right. As they get more familiar, it gets easier to kind of shove them in. It's starting to get sweaty now, though. Oof. It's like how dare I get sweaty right after I took a shower. It should be the other way around. The Velcro is starting to take like less and less, like, starting to be less and less overlap. Like now we're at the point where there's barely any overlap. So we have more than half the weight on at this point. Oh, someone is awake downstairs. I was hearing some noises. It's like, that's an unusual noise to be hearing. There we go. And you literally can't tell the difference between any of the rows, how much weight was on my hands, can you? It's kind of painful when it's on the joints. Then again, I'm also using it for its not intended purpose. That could be a thing. Ooh. Now we've passed, I'm pretty sure we passed the 2 pound point. Like the 2 pound mark at this point. Ooh, it's on. Okay. It's heavy. But it's within my power zone right now. I know if I were to go out like this or go like this, it's no longer my power zone. It probably feels heavier. Yeah, it feels heavier when I hold them up. There we go. Ooh. Just leaned on my elbow in the wrong way. Ow. Two more rows done. And it's time to put the last set of weights in. And find out what it's like to knit with the full 3 pounds on my wrists. Looks like I have it open over here. So we just slide this back in. All 3 pounds are on. Ooh. oddly enough, I feel like the weight would be more bearable on my ankles than it would be on my arms. All right. All 3 pounds are on. And I've tied them, yeah, I have tied them more securely. Ow. It's weird. It's like the Velcro doesn't, I don't know if you can see it, but the Velcro doesn't match. I feel like it makes my right wrist thinner than my left wrist, which doesn't make sense because I'm right-handed. Or it could be the fabric underneath is like, oh, it's the fabric underneath. Because you see my hoodie kind of made it up all the way here, but I think it's like farther down here. Anyway, we're going to knit the last 2 rows. Ooh. I probably should have stretched before I knitted. I mean, technically, by putting these on, I've turned knitting into an exercise, and I should stretch before exercising. That's like exercising 101. It's too late now. It does feel more comfortable to rest my wrists on the table. It feels like it takes the weight off as compared to when I'm holding them up here. But yet, it didn't affect my knitting. I mean, it affected how I, like it affects how my arms feel, but it didn't affect the motion that my arms took, if that makes sense. And it clearly didn't affect the stitches. They look the same. I'm probably not going to keep on doing this with these weights on it. I mean, I did sign up for a race on a whim, so maybe I'll keep using the ankle weights for their intended purpose after this. But, yeah, that was today's video. Ended much like how many of my other videos did, but I mean, someone had to try it, right? That was today's entertainment. Have a nice day.